Hello there, this is Chadderbox, and 30 days ago I said this. I really can't make music, much less good music, and I really don't want people who won't be playing my game for hours to have to listen to any of that. And I was right, my musical ability is absolutely terrible. So I decided to change that and try to actually learn how to make music. In this month I made tons of tracks and worked my way up to releasing an album on Spotify, and I think that some of the songs I made might actually be slightly listenable. So, let's get started. The first one we're going to need to make our music is a DAW, or a digital audio workstation. I'm using FL Studio in this video because my old school was pretty epic and let me have a key because FL Studio is really expensive and it's also generally considered the best DAW for Windows. However, for one track I also used LMMS, a completely free and open source digital audio workstation, just to prove that you don't need super expensive gear to learn to make music. But anyway, now we have our tools, let's get making music. So, let's try this. Ah, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Well, fortunately, there's a trick to having it sound a bit better, and that's called music theory. Music theory dictates, well, the theory around how to make music sound good. I don't know any music theory, but luckily for me, there are plenty of videos about it online, and so after a bit of research, I had a slightly better idea as to what I was doing. So after that, I needed to decide on a genre for the music, what it would be, how it would sound. This was a really easy choice for me. I chose to make a sort of chill, lo-fi-like track. I really don't actually like lo-fi, I think it's really boring. But as Gandhi once said, be the change you want to be in the world. And so I'm not going to change anything and make a boring lo-fi track because they're really easy. With all of the setup and planning sorted, I started working on tracks. I first wrote out a chord progression. I barely ever use my own chord progressions. I usually Google them and just use one that sounds right. But Chadderbox, you may cry, isn't that wrong? Isn't that stealing? Well, in a way, yes. But it isn't illegal. But most popular songs actually use almost the exact same chords, so don't get too stressed about it. Chords are just a layer for you to build on to make something actually original. Now after this, the track can go almost any way. I normally set up some instruments that I like. I have quite a large collection of free instruments that was really useful. You can actually find a lot of instruments online that are completely free, and so I'd highly recommend having a little look around. After picking an instrument, I'll usually think of something that sounds good with the chords, be it a melody, drums, or a bass line, and I get to work on those. I like to hum it out and then try to play it in. I might add, most of the time I'm either drawing in the MIDI notes with my mouse, or I'm playing it in with my keyboard. And not a MIDI keyboard, I mean literally my clicky-clacky mechanical keyboard. As I said, you really don't need a load of equipment to make something. From there, I'll keep thinking of things and adding them in until I'm happy. But after that is where the fun begins, the polish phase. This involves the fine-tuning and tweaking of any instruments, and also mastering the music. I wasn't really very good at mastering, and often a lot of things sounded really muddy, but I tried my best to make it sound as good as I could, using compression, reverb, and this awesome free vinyl effect from iZotope, a must-have if you're making some lo-fi songs. After that, I listened through the song again, and I tried to think of something else that I might want to add. But if I can't think of anything, then I just call it done, and slap it into my finished projects folder. After rinsing and repeating this a few times, I had a collection of songs of questionable quality. But I can say with certainty that it's better than anything I've ever made before. Maybe after a bit of practice, I might be able to make some good music for my games. After this, I decided I had a few songs that weren't really bad, and I wondered if I could publish them. It would be really cool to have some songs on Spotify after all. In the end, it turned out that I could. Using a website called Rootnote allowed me to publish my songs for free. They take some of the royalties, but I don't care about that. I wasn't making music for money anyway. So I made some assets for the songs, like an album cover, and then uploaded them. In a few days, I checked Spotify, and my songs were there, which is really cool. But I hope you liked this video and that it helped. I've linked a lot of resources in the description which I used to learn, and also some tools that you might want to use. But anyway, like and subscribe and stuff, and you can check out my music on Spotify. I'd also love to hear any music that you make after seeing this video. But that's it, have a good day.